Hello from Norwegian Bliss. I am officially on board. As you can see behind me, I am at sea. So, embarked Norwegian Bliss yesterday and got all settled in, had an early night, and now it is time for day two, which is at sea. So, I'll tell you a little bit about how sort of the embarkation process and things went, because it was a little bit different to how we would typically do it, maybe with a UK line. Similarities, but it was a little bit more chaotic, I think. So we were picked up at the hotel. So as part of the package that I booked through NCL, I had one night in the Westin in Seattle, which was perfectly nice. It was great. So while you're there, there is a representative from either NCL or the partner company, a bit like Inter Cruises, but not inter cruises. So at the hotel, so we had to visit them in the morning to essentially check in and be provided with a little ticket that would tell us which bus to get. So, because as I said yesterday, I was going out for a walk quite early in the morning. Typically they opened at 8 a.m., but because we were going out before 8, she did let us check in and give us our bus ticket early. So got a little green ticket, and that was then it was really simple. So we just gathered in the lobby before 10 a.m., and then at about 10 o'clock it was announced anyone with a green ticket would go outside and get on the bus. So luggage, that was quite interesting. So luggage was actually collected from inside your hotel room, which I didn't really think of it. Like, I didn't think it would be a thing, because like typically I thought it would just go on. We would take it on the bus ourselves, or it would be like on a cruise where you leave it outside the door. But no, you left your luggage inside the room of the hotel, and they would come and pick it up any time from 7 a.m., which I thought was really early. But jet lag, so was up anyway. So yeah, left case there, just in my backpack. So had no luggage to carry, so off we went. Green ticket was called on the bus. And it was a really quick journey. Representative again from either NCL or SMS is their equivalent of Intercruises on the bus with us, and it was only about 10 minutes, and then we were at the port. So we then got off and we went into the terminal and we had to go through security. Now, this was a little bit more like airport. It's always a bit like airport security, but you couldn't take any liquids on board with you, or beverages. Sorry, is what it actually said. So everybody pouring out their bottles of water before they were going through. But again, you just like standard, put your bag on the thing, like on the scanner, go through the metal detector, and provide your passport and your boarding pass. They just have a quick look, and then you go through. Um, After that, it was sort of following through just round the building, up the stairs and along and back again, and then you went to check in. So anybody that may be embarking on a cruise in the US in the near future, don't do what I did. Print your ESTA. Loads of people got caught out with that. So at check-in, you had your usual documents, your boarding pass, your passport, but you had to provide a copy of your ESTA. Now, I knew I could access mine online if I needed it. I had a note of my application number and things, so it was fine. I just pulled it up in the app, and they took a photo of the app, which was what it seemed to be what half the people also at the check-in desk were doing, that maybe weren't from the US and required an ESTA. So yeah, just helpful hint for next time. Print your ESTA, because it's not like you can't just open the app and it's there. You have to put your details in every time. So after that, then it was sitting down in the big waiting area. And so when you checked in, you got a card that had like a embarkation group. So like mine was group 14. But it was so busy. It was just a bit chaotic, to be honest. Then there was a staff member who was calling out, okay, ADA, so Americans Disability Act, so that's how they refer to passengers that may have accessibility needs, or need special assistance, is how it's more phrased in the UK. But so it would be them, then it would be either priority guests, then the people in the suites in the Haven and whatever else. But it just went so quickly. It was one group, next group, next group, then on to the numbers of 1 to 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. and there was no gap in between. So it just ended up this mass of people all trying to like pile on the ship at the same time. But we got on, it was fine, and that was probably we got on the ship about quarter to 11, I think, and the cabins weren't ready until about 1:30, which is probably pretty standard anyway. So at that point, um, best thing to do, hit the bar. So before doing that, so first thing when getting on the ship, obviously you need to scan your cruise card at your muster station. So the NCL card. So this is my first time on NCL, so I don't have a latitudes group, so I have a boring blue card. But on your card, it'll have your muster group, which mine was B1. And then on your paperwork, it tells you where your muster station is. So, like usual, for any other cruise, you go to your muster station, you scan in so that you know that you've been there, and they know that you know where it is. But yes, after that, hit the bar. So, um, just met some of the other solos and went and sat on deck 16 at one of the outdoor bars. It was very warm, I would say. Like the ship is quite hot. So we went outside to get a bit of fresh air and things, and it just got busier and busier and busier. But embarkation day is always really busy. So had some cocktails and then went for some lunch. So went into the buffet, which is called, what is it called? The Garden Cafe. I think that's what it's called. I'll caption it if it's not. So went to the Garden Cafe, which was heaving, was manic. Um, so because of where we were sitting, it was just like through the doors. And I will say, however, despite the fact it was very very busy, there was a really great selection of food on offer. Normally, I'm not a buffet fan. I don't normally go unless it's just for like a picky bits. Very British thing, picky bits at lunchtime. I don't tend to go at dinner time. And I'm a fan of afternoon tea as well. P&O, I enjoy going for afternoon tea and Ambassador. So I don't normally go, but because it was embarkation day, whatever, that was what was on offer. And yeah, it was lovely. Like the food was really really nice. I just had some picky bits. God, just like some bits of salad and coleslaw and potato salad and some like coated chicken and a little bit of pizza. Um, oh, and I had a little cake as well. I had a little, what was it, lemon and blueberry. Um, I like lemon. Going by my scone in the morning as well, but like a lemon and blueberry little tart thing, which was really nice. I'll put some pictures in, and yeah, that was nice. Took that outside, went outside, and after that, it was soon going to be sail away time. By the time that I'd sat and became tech support for quite a lot of the solos, so this is a bit of a running thing with some of the cruises that I go on that I become tech support with how to work the internet. So I helped out some of the other solos with that. And then, yeah, it was sail away time not long after that. Now, there was a sail away party, but I didn't go, which I don't tend to go to sail away parties, but I did want to go to this one. And I, I just forgot. I was really tired and I just forgot about the sail away party, despite the fact that I knew it was sail away time. So I was then on deck 8, so there's like promenade deck. Again, sat outside with another cocktail, so sitting with margarita, again with some of the other souls that were there. And then as we moved away, I did go to the aft on deck 8 and set my phone up and did a little time lapse, which inspiration for that. I'm gonna have to say this, Rob. Inspiration has come from you. Rob was a solo traveler that I met on my previous cruise, who gave me fantastic content ideas. So I feel like I have to give him credit for that. So yeah, went and set my phone out, did a bit of a time lapse and stuff off the back, and just watched as we left Seattle. And it was just nice and quiet. It was a bit peopled out. I like my quiet time as much as I'm very social and I'm sitting here chatting away on camera to. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's just a bit of fun, but I do get peopled out after a little while, and I was a bit peopled out. So I've done nothing but speak to other people and interact for hours and hours and the day before and whatever else, and we hadn't really slept. So just enjoyed a little bit of maybe half an hour, 45 minutes of quiet time by myself. And after that, came back in, had another drink, the common theme going on here, and then went to the solo meetup. Now, the solo meetup was held in the cavern, which, as the name suggests, is themed like the Cavern Club in Liverpool. So that was all solo travelers, and there was a host who was telling us about sort of some of the arrangements that were in place for solo travelers, which was quite nice actually, because some ships you go on and there's nothing. There is nothing for solo travelers except a self-led meetup at 5 o'clock in a bar, and that's it. Whereas NCL does seem to cater quite well to their solos, and I had heard this. I'd heard this from people, but just the right NCL cruise had never come up, so I hadn't tried it. But they do seem to be catering really well, and there is a lot of solos and also a lot of younger solos, which is quite different as well. Normally, it's me that's left as the youngest solo on the ship, um, and that now that's not a problem for me because I will quite happily chat away to anyone. I'm very open. I'm very I'm quite, for anyone that knows me in real life, I'm quite an open minded person in terms of who I interact with and people and personalities and things. So it makes absolutely no odds to me. But I know for some people, they would rather have people that they can relate to a little bit more. So yeah, quite a lot of younger solos. So at that meetup, there was so we got a handout that had essentially activities for the week that would be normal activities that would be on your itinerary thing. I can't remember what it's called on the ship. I'll tell you later. But that would normally be on your your plan, like your paper. But these ones were specifically they'd maybe arrange like a meeting point. So solos wanted to do it, they could meet there. And one of the things that they have at the end of the week, which I think I am going to go and do, is the solo speedway. So the ship has a go kart track on the top of the ship. So it's got a go kart track and some water slides and stuff. But we've got solo speedway on one of the last days, which is exclusively, the racing or the go-karts for solo travelers, which all of these things obviously have a supplement. They always have a supplement, but for the solos, it was reduced supplement for this specific one at $7.50, which, as far as paying extra things on cruises go, I would say that's pretty reasonable. So I think I am going to go and give that a go and have just try it. What else did we do at that one? We also got what was a card. That was it. So that you got a little card with little boxes at the top, and any time that you went to any of the either the solo meetups or went to any of the meeting points and things, or you bumped into the solo host, you get your card signed, and you can then put that card in a like a draw, like a pull out hat type thing, at the end of the cruise to win some merchandise. So just another little bit of fun and encouragement for solos to sort of meet up with each other and to participate. Additionally, I haven't been to this yet, so I am planning to go before I go and get breakfast, just to go for a little look. But NCL, on a lot of their ships, so Bliss does have this, has a dedicated solo lounge. So that's on deck 11. Now, there is solo studio cabins, which are quite small, and I think they're all inside cabins with, the studio cabins are inside cabins with, I think they might have either no window, some of them might have a porthole, and some of them, depending on the ship, might have a virtual porthole. Not sure, can't quite remember. However, I booked a balcony cabin, which when I booked it, I booked a solo balcony, but I have been put in a standard balcony. Now, the solo balcony and the standard balcony cabins are the same size. They are the same cabin. It's just based on where they are on the ship, and if they're in that area with the solo lounge or not. So despite the fact of if you get put in a dedicated solo balcony, for example, or a standard balcony in a standard corridor, you still have access to the solo lounge. So the solo lounge is by swipe card access. So no, not everybody can just walk in. Like, you do have to be solo, and it gets put, on your cruise card, and you have to use that to swipe in. So I'm gonna go for a look before I get some breakfast. and see what that's like. So again, that is a nice. It's nice to have that dedicated space for solos. After that, went for dinner. Well, actually, I went for a did plan to go for a bit of a walk about the ship. I didn't make it past the atrium. I was just standing chatting for too long, which is fine. So I'm going to go for a walk this morning as well because it is absolutely stunning outside. I will take us outside for a little look as well. So ended up going to it's called like the local, so it's like a bar, just like it's like pub food type environment, with a menu, like an a la carte menu, which is one of your complimentary dining venues, which was quite the setup was quite interesting actually. So it was off to this, it was on deck seven, and then the bar was like at the side, and then like tables and things, but then it looked down. So where we were sitting was sitting further back, but like if you were further forward or sitting at one of the bar stools, like it looked down into more of an entertainment type venue with a big screen. And so when we were eating dinner, there was a musician playing. I think it was just a resident musician, well, two of them actually playing, and I think there was a lot of cheering and things going on, like that we could hear from a distance. So I was assuming that there was something going on that we couldn't see. I say we. I went for dinner with one of the other souls that I've met previously, and yeah, so we couldn't see it. Thought, oh, what's going on? So, assuming there was something happening, but like it was fine. It wasn't a disturbance. It was just sort of caught our curiosity to think what's actually going on while we're sitting over here eating. So I would say the menu for there is quite mixed. They have the handhelds, which is like your burgers and toasties and stuff like that. A couple of pasta dishes, but they also have things like nachos and things like that as well, which was fine. I had like a it was like a toasty. It was like had like beef and mustard and like pickles and stuff in it. It's called the Reuben, which tasted nice. I'm just a bit picky with meat texture. God, bearing all on the internet here, but yeah, I'm a bit funny with certain textures and things. So um, texture of like the meat threw me off a bit, but I did take a risk. Like I took a risk. I ordered it knowing I might not feel great about this, but it was fine. I did have it. It was nice. I enjoyed it. It's just maybe wouldn't pick it again. I would pick something different off the menu next time. And then the lady I was with, she had like a carbonara type pasta, which looked really nice as well, and it was decent portion sizes too. And then you obviously have your drinks menu and things there as well. So it's quite nice having a drinks package this time. My last couple of cruises, I haven't had drinks packages, but this one, the price I paid for this cruise, I'll maybe do a breakdown of finances later. But the price I paid for this cruise, including your drinks package and flights and everything as well, like it was great. So it's really nice to have that this time. So yeah, then I went to bed at a grand total of about 9 p.m. because I was so tired. I was just knackered. Obviously, I'd had such long days of travel, and then because we are, I believe, 8 hours, we're either 7 or 8 hours behind, behind the UK. So the time zone changes. I think we're currently 8 hours, and that'll be 7 hours tomorrow. Can't quite remember either way, or it's the other way around. But yeah, I hardly slept at all. So I was really, really tired, and I was like, I need my bed now. So I went, came back, unpacked, like came back about 9, unpacked, and then went to my bed, and then I was up again at like 3 o'clock this morning. So I ended up out my bed at about 5 o'clock, which was really nice though because it was kind of sunrise time. So I was able to go and stand on my balcony and take some pictures and things, which yeah, it's amazing having a balcony as well. I don't normally book a balcony, so I'll show you the cabin video and some pictures and stuff at some point. But yeah, really nice to have a balcony too and be able to do that, and just wake up. Then I went back to bed and like opened the door and opened the curtains and just sat there and I was like having a moment to myself of, oh, this is really, really nice and just what I need. Work's been a bit like before coming off. Work's not been easy, I will say. There's it's been really tricky, and quite emotionally taxing, I think is how I would describe it. Not It's very complicated. Won't get into it, but yeah, I've been quite emotionally taxing. So I've really that was just really needed that just to kind of be able to sit, have a moment to myself with the sea, and just be able to enjoy it and soak it up. So yeah, so here's today too, which is yeah just going to be a quiet day of exploring. I think I'm really keen to go and explore the ship because didn't do any I didn't really do any research before embarking. I normally do, as you know, as someone that loves to post about my cruises online, that likes to share what I'm up to and sort of be really clued up and know what I want to do. I have done so little research before coming on the ship. I just haven't. I just didn't have the time. It wasn't at the forefront of my mind. So, yeah, I kind of know some of the facilities and things that are on offer, but I want to get my bearings a bit and suss out where everything is and where it's not and the best ways to get to places. So yeah, that's my next thing. So next things to do are go and see the Solo Lounge, go for breakfast, get my bearings. The one place I do know where it is the medical centre. Not that I've needed to go, but it's at my nearest like lift corridor and stairwell, which I will. Oh, this is a reminder for myself of to go and at some point when it's quiet, have a look. They have a. This is the first time I've seen this, but they've got a machine outside the medical center, which is like a vending machine for like small things that you maybe wouldn't need to go and see, like actually go and see a doctor or nurse about. So I will go and get a little video of that at some point when it's quiet, when there's nobody about, to show you what that's like too. So very yeah, nice quiet day on the cards today. I've run out of internet. That's my next problem. I was planning. I've really mucked up with my internet here, and I feel bad because I've brought others down with me because I've told them what my plan was, and they've done it too, and I've done it wrong. So I had grand plans of trying out the Red Bull eSIM on this cruise because I have Wi-Fi is expensive. If you don't cruise and you're not familiar with it, cruise Wi-Fi is extortionate, or it can be very expensive. So I thought I'm going to try out the Red Bull eSIM because if you don't know, when you're at sea, if you're not close enough to land to pick up normal land signal, you go onto the maritime network, and the maritime network is absolutely extortionate. So there was one of the ladies that I was helping with her internet. I can't remember if it was even I don't even think it was the maritime. I think it was just US data for her was £94 a gigabyte. Like because it was out with her roaming plan. I thought, oh my goodness, it's wild. Anyway, but maritime is even more expensive than that sort of thing. So it's you really don't want to muck up and click on the maritime. So Red Bull eSIM, if you have Telenor, it's €15 a gigabyte, which in the grand scheme of things is not a lot of money for like cruise internet, because you're not committed. So if you buy Wi-Fi on a cruise, most of them you tend to be committed to buying a package that lasts the span of the cruise. So it's either you pay for a day at a time, which tends to be really expensive, and then, or if you buy the entire cruise duration, you get it at a reduced rate. So I made a bit of a mistake, and I took the Red Bull one, thinking I'm going to do this. Just bought 1 gigabyte of data just to try it, and then realised that the list of ships that had Telenor, so it's like amplified, I think, by the ship. Don't hold me to this, but I think it's like amplified by the ship. So it has to be they'll either have Telenor or cellular at sea is like the two big ones. And the list I looked at, I am sure it said that NCL and Norwegian Bliss had Telenor and not cellular at sea. But no, it's a cellular at sea. So the Red Bull one is only for Telenor. So I can't use it. And I have a grand total of 2 minutes left of my 150 minutes of Wi Fi. So I think I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and buy a Wi Fi package because internet is very important to me. um, but if I wait till tomorrow, God, this is now half an hour of just waffle. I'll maybe split this into chunks and chapter it. But if I wait till tomorrow, the price of the Wi-Fi comes down even more. So because it's like prorated per day. There's like a limit. I think if you buy it at the start of the third day of the cruise, it drops down a little bit because it's already. So yesterday, I think it was at like $16.99 a day. Today, it's at $14.99 a day, and I believe that tomorrow, as long as you get it within this window, so in the morning, it will be reduced even more, and then after that, it'll bump back up. So I need to investigate this properly. And yeah, I think I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and take out Wi-Fi, because yeah, as I say, internet's very important to me. So yeah. Anyway, I've sat and chatted to myself for 27 minutes, and I haven't shown you outside yet. So I'm gonna take you outside with me. Okay, we're now outside. So if we just go this way, stunning. So yeah, it's really, really nice outside today. So my cabin is on deck 13, so I don't even have a. I've not got an obstructed cabin this time, which is quite nice, like obstructed balcony. So I can see if I look up that way, I can see one of the water slides that's like coming off the side of the ship, and then down below me is like outdoor seating for a bar, and the other way I can see the bridge. So yeah, really, really exciting. Lovely cabin, lovely location. So nice to be able to see outside. So I'm gonna leave this here. I don't even think there was very much editing for me to do. There is, because I forgot something. I forgot to show you the ship map. So I will insert that at the start of the video. Um, so yeah, not much editing for me to do. This will probably just be me waffling on for half an hour. But by the time you got to this point, you know that already. And I will update you later with some more information about the ship and the solo areas, and yeah, how things are going. So thanks for listening. Hope you've enjoyed my impromptu vlog, and update you all later. Welcome to the NCL TV screen. So you can see on screen that it gives you your welcome aboard, it's got your cabin number, it's got your cabin steward and their name, and lots of things that you can access. So bits of information that I would have learned so far. I've not really used it very much, but TV, there's not that much on the TV. It's mostly news channels and then like a favorites channel, which had things like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Parks and Rec running on it when I was looking earlier. What's going on is like what's going on, of course, quite obvious. And then a lot of the other ones are sort of information and just opportunities to look at things. So, like for example, if you go to dining, then it will give you like information about sort of like each of them. So like the local, that's where I had dinner last night, and then the garden, well, that's the garden cafe. That's where I had lunch yesterday, and then it's also got things about your room service. So like you go on room service, and it doesn't tell you very much. So this is just really the information side of it rather than actually being able to do much with it. The Some of the other cruise lines, you might find that you can do a lot of things with your TV. So like you can use it to make reservations, you can use it to order a room service, you can use it to book an activity, for example. This one isn't like that. This one is mostly just information. There is messaging, which is really just advertisements. Now, the bit I was quite enjoying was the sea map. So, if you go on the sea map, this one I haven't seen before, I thought it was quite fun because you can see where you are. So, normally to do this, I would go on like Vessel Finder or something like that. But this, so you can use one to zoom in, two to center on the vessel, or three to zoom out. So, if I zoom out, you can see where we are on the ship. Like, well, not on the ship, but where the ship is in the world. So you can see we're off the coast of British Columbia just now, and if we use the arrows to move up, we're going to Alaska, which is up here. So if we go back to two, to center on the vessel, yeah, shows where we are. Or you can zoom in as well if you want to get a bit closer, but it's just blue, is it? So yeah, I just thought this was quite a cool little feature, and you can see where we are. So off the coast of British Columbia. There we go. That's where we are here. And yeah, so we'll arrive tomorrow in Alaska. So all very exciting.